You know what younger people will never understand? Spending 15 bucks on an album because you liked one song. Not the whole album, not even 3 songs, but one song. And somehow, back then, that was enough. Maybe you heard a song on the radio driving home from work. Or maybe a friend kept telling you, yo man, you gotta check out this band. Or maybe you were just up late at night watching MTV when a video suddenly came on and grabbed your attention. Whatever it was, there was a pretty good chance you'd be heading to the record store the next day. And if you missed the band's name at the end of the video, good luck. There was no grabbing your phone and looking it up. Sometimes you'd walk into a record store trying to describe a band based on a 3-minute video that you barely remember. Oh yeah, there was this guy, he was singing, he had like long hair, and there was fire in the background, and oh, there was a really cute girl dancing, and I don't know, maybe they were British? Somehow, just off of that, the people working there would figure it out. That's the part that's hard to explain. Back then, finding new music wasn't instant. You couldn't hear every song a band had ever recorded in 30 seconds. Sometimes all you knew was one song, or maybe one video, maybe even just an image of part of the album cover. That was enough. You took a chance. And looking back, I think the waiting was part of the fun. Anyhow, walking into a record store was always felt different from walking to any other store. The second you opened the door, music was already playing. There was rock posters covering the walls. There was flyers to local shows in the windows. There was posters and flats everywhere of new releases. And everyone in the store seemed to be on their own little mission. There's always somebody heading straight to the new releases, or somebody digging through albums looking for something rare and obscure. And there's always at least one person carrying a stack of records or CDs that clearly cost more money than they probably had in their wallet. Come to think of it, most of us were probably that person at some point. But because I actually worked in a record store, I got to see both sides of it. Customers couldn't wait for new releases, which came out on Tuesdays for years. And honestly, neither could we. Half the time, we were music fans first and employees second. If we only got a few copies of a new album, people would be calling us, asking us, oh yeah, please, can you just hold one copy for me? Sometimes they showed up the same day as the shipments, because they were afraid that we might sell out. And I can tell you from experience, the people behind the counter, we were usually every bit as excited as the customers. We just happened to be paid to be sitting there and listening to the music. Oh, if you're old enough to remember this, you'll remember long boxes. I was working in a record store when those things first showed up, so I know exactly why they existed. They were security devices. They weren't there because somebody thought, CDs needed more packaging. They were there because a jewel case fits very nicely into a pocket. A giant cardboard box, not so much. So suddenly, we get shipments of these oversized packages that were mostly cardboard and air. The CD itself was about the size of a coaster, but the package was 12 inches by 6 inches, about half the size of a record album cover. That scared me, and that was on purpose. Because the record store bins, when CDs first came out, they fit 2 together, they're the same size as a record. Anyhow, that was only half the experience of getting the album. The ride home was the other half. Half the time, you didn't even make it out of the parking lot before trying to open up the CD. You're sitting there fighting with a plastic wrap, trying not to crack the jewel case, trying to peel off the price sticker without leaving it behind, because you couldn't wait to hear the rest of the album. And while it was playing, you'd pull out the liner notes. Remember liner notes? Kids nowadays, they read comics. We read liner notes. Every lyric, every thank you list, every credit. We looked at every photo. We learned who produced the album, who played the drums, who played the bass, and sometimes information that had absolutely no practical value whatsoever. Didn't matter. We read every word. By the 3rd or 4th listen, we practically had the whole booklet memorized. And let's be honest, most of us bought at least one album because of one incredible song, rushed home excited to hear the rest, and discovered the radio station had somehow found the only good track on the entire album. There was no refund button. We just kept listening to the other 11 songs, hoping they'd grow on you. But sometimes something unexpected happened. The song that got you to buy the album in the first place wasn't even the best song. Your favorite ended up being track number 7 or track number 9, buried somewhere that the radio stations never touched. You found it because you spent time with the music. You lived with it. That's one of the things I think we've lost nowadays. Not because streaming is bad. I mean, I use it, everyone uses it. But when every song ever recorded is available instantly, there's less anticipation, less mystery. You don't spend days thinking about an album. You don't even stare at the cover while it's playing. You don't sit there reading the lyrics and trying to figure out what the songwriters meant. You just move on to the next song. Maybe that's why people still get nostalgic about record stores. I don't think it's really about the CDs and the vinyl records. And I don't even think it's about MTV, as great as it was. I think it's about the experiences itself, about seeing a video late at night and spending the next day trying to find the album. It's about walking into a store, hoping that they actually have it in stock. It's about carrying it to the register like you just found a buried treasure. It's about reading every word in the liner notes while hearing those songs for the very first time. The experience, the record store experience actually started long before you press play. Come to think of it, sidetrack again, looking back, our generation watched music change in ways that nobody else has. We bought records, then 8-track tapes, we made cassette tapes, we recorded songs off the radio, we recorded music videos from on VHS, from MTV and VH1, we watched CDs take over, and then we started wearing MP3 players like we were in science fiction movies. Nowadays we have lower phones where every song in the world is right here. And as incredible as modern technology is, it's part of me still misses walking to a record store with no guarantee that I would find what I was looking for, and walking feeling like I've actually discovered a treasure. It wasn't just the music, it was saving up the money, hunting for the album, hoping the store actually had it in stock, sitting in the car trying to get the plastic wrap off before you even left the parking lot. These albums became part of our lives because we spent time with them long before we ever heard a track, track one. The record stores sold music, sure, but what they really gave us was an experience, and somehow, after all these years, that's a part a lot of us still remember. The experience.